one tool to rule them all. Hey guys, what's going on? The reason why I was so weird just about 2 seconds ago is because I am incredibly excited to show you my favorite tool I've ever used when it comes to automating my company. Now, I've used a lot of different tools. I've spoken about a lot of different tools, but there's one that really ties everything in together. And that's why in the beginning, I made the Lord of the Rings reference, which by the way, if you didn't get that, that was a Lord of the Rings reference. Yes, I don't have any friends or a girlfriend, but it's one tool really to rule them all. So if you have this one tool, it will allow you to connect so many different tools together, allow you to remove yourself from your business, allow you to scale, and allow you to do it effectively without human error. And what is that tool that I'm talking about? Well, of course, it's Zapier, Z-A-P-I-E-R, and they're called Zaps. And the essential idea behind it is it's an if this, then that format. So you got to think of it like this. If something happens, then something else happens. Or if something happens, then something else happens, something else happens, something else happens, something else happens. So it's like a cascade effect. It's like a trigger essentially that's going on. And so that trigger action, the if thing, can be one of a million different things. They integrate with literally thousands of different apps that you can use. Stuff like Google Drive, Microsoft Word, Gmail, calendars, anything you can imagine is the if. And then the then is the exact same thing. It can be anything else as well. Google Drive, Calendly, it can be your Gmail account. It can be stuff like Active Campaign or email automations, whatever it is. And these two kind of work together so that you can have full automation running in your life. This is something that we teach every single Scaling with Systems member, and it's something that has totally transformed my life. Now, before I go any further, you might not know who I am. What's going on? My name is Ravi Abuvala. I run scalingwithsystems.com, where we help entrepreneurs grow and scale their company, totally removing themselves from the process using automation, delegation, and elimination. So like I said, strap in, get some notes out, because this is going to totally transform the way that you do business. Now, before we move any further, I know some people are like, Ravi, I don't have repeatable processes in my business, or Ravi, there's no way I can use this. I'm going to show you guys real life examples inside of this video of how we use it inside of our company. But also, I promise you, if you sit down with a pen and paper and write down a bunch of stuff that happens inside of your company, whether it's when you sign a client, what else happens that needs to happen after that, or maybe it's when someone books a time with you, what kind of information do you need to get over to them? There is a bunch of different stuff that you're already doing inside of your company that follows the if this, then that format that we can now automate so that nobody else has to do it again. And as usual, most of the software that I show you guys is totally and completely free. Zapier is free up to a certain amount, and then you have to pay a little amount of monthly money just so you can have multiple Zaps or multiple steps in a Zap, but you can use it totally for free for the first few Zaps that you use. And because I'm always giving free and valuable information and software on here, please be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button down below, and turn on post notifications, and let's dive right in. So this is the website. I know it's very weird, Zapier. I don't know where the name comes from, but they don't pay me to know where the name comes from. So Zapier, Z-A-P-I-E-R, is the name of the software itself. You can just go to zapier.com. If you go in right here, I'll show you what it looks like on the, if you're on the homepage, sign up with Google, Facebook, you guys know how it works. Once again, it's totally free. It says connect your apps and automate workflows. Okay, so let's just dive right into my Zapier account here. And this is kind of what it looks like. They just did an upgrade. It's pretty clean, but let's just dive right in here. These are what are called Zaps. And you can see it's just like a little arrow. If this happens, then something else happens, right? And these are just, you may recognize some of these icons here. Like this is Facebook. So this is like for one of our clients. Once again, just so everyone knows, like this is my demo account that I'm showing you guys in here. I have a business one that I'll show you that has a little over 360 Zaps inside of it. So that's for my companies. And we have over 360 of these individual Zaps that go out, and each of those Zaps have 5 to 10 steps. So we're very automated inside of our stuff. Unfortunately, I can't show you guys through that. That's for clients inside Scaling with Systems and for my own company, but I'm gonna happily show you guys a few of the ideas that we do use. So if you're creating your first Zap, it's very easy. All you're gonna do is come in here and click Create Zap. And then this is this. So when this happens, this is what you guys are thinking here. So when this happens, then you want to do this, right? So there's a bunch of things I'm sure come into your mind, but let's just say, for example, let's say you run some kind of service-based business. And let's say that when someone books an appointment with you, well, you want them to be warmed up a little bit before you get on the call with them. And that's one of the best zaps that we've used inside of our company is whenever someone books an appointment with them, send them over some homework and send them over some testimonials. So by the time they get on the call with us, they're ready to rock and roll. So I would use whatever your calendar management software. We use something called Calendly. So you choose the app, you choose what exactly inside Calendly you want to happen. So let's say invitee created, then you click continue. We're gonna click my Calendly account right here, click continue as well. And then it always wants you to kind of test and pull some data so you know later on which kind of data you're working with. So we'll just click test and review. It's gonna pull one of the things that we have in here. Okay, perfect. And then if we scroll down, we click done editing. Okay, now it says this, hey, when you get an invitee created, so when someone books a time in your calendar, what do you want to happen? So now let's decide what we want to happen. So I'm gonna come down here and I use a customer relationship management tool, CRM, called ActiveCampaign. We use it for really a lot of email automation. That's what we teach inside of Scaling with Systems. And I would probably want to create or update the contact. And then I would choose my ActiveCampaign account. And then I would come here to the list view and I would choose, I know we have a booked call. So we have obviously a bunch of different booked call automations here in list, but I would say a VA booked list. And I'm not gonna go into an ActiveCampaign tutorial here because obviously this is an ActiveCampaign video. If you guys want that, comment down below. But I essentially have a list called VA booked that when someone books to maybe get a virtual assistant, a fully trained virtual assistant with us, then that triggers an email sequence that we give them down below. We actually give our clients inside Scaling with Systems the exact email sequence, but it's a 20 email sequence that literally gives them value. It shows them testimonials, it shows them social proof, it shows them, me speaking on stage, so that whenever they book a time with us, they're getting warmed up so much to the point that whenever they actually do speak with myself or one of my team members, they pretty much don't have any questions on what the product is. The only question is it a good fit for them, right? So that's why we add them into this list VA booked. And then if you come here, I'm gonna probably have to blur this out here to respect somebody's privacy, but you can choose and pull pieces of data from other steps above it. So whenever you're setting what you wanna use, you could pull pieces of your name, information, questions, answers, whatever it is from steps above it. So right here it asks for the email address so we can know who we're sending the email to, and I can just pull that right from the calendar event, right? The first name, I can once again pull that right from the calendar event, and it's most likely going to have a full name, not a first name here. Let's see here. There we go. And then it says, and that's actually in their full name, so let's go down to full name and put full name there. I don't think that this person actually gave here's their first and last name. So this actually example, this person didn't give their first and last name, but that's actually where you could put your first and last name. I don't know why this person didn't do it, but for the sake of this video, let's just type in name here. Cool. And then we'll just say, this is technically the name of one of my reps, but we're just gonna put his name in there instead. Imagine that's the full name of the client. If you ask for their phone number, you can put their phone number in here as well, which is gonna be right here. And then any tags you wanna add, and any other additional piece of information, but we're just gonna click continue. You can click test and review. So I'm not gonna test it because it's a fake name, I know that. And then we're done. So now what happens is whenever someone books a time on our calendar, they're automatically put into an ActiveCampaign, which is an email automation tool, drip sequence, which warms them up, shows them social proof, shows them authority, shows them me speaking on stage, and gets them ready for the call. So by the time my team member, one of my coaches gets on the call, they just have to answer questions, and it's not like a hard sales close, it's not a hard sales pitch. We're just trying to see if it's a right fit or not. That's probably one of my favorite zaps that we use. And then you can add another little zap below it as well. So another tool that we use is something called Slide Broadcast. It's a voicemail drop software that automatically calls a number and just leaves a voicemail, doesn't actually call them, but it makes it look like I called them. And so we can start a campaign using an auto file, and it makes me sign in right here, but then I can actually have it so that after they book a time with us, then we put them in an email sequence, and then we send them a voicemail drop, and it's me speaking, and it goes, hey, what's going on? It's Ravi Abuvala here. I saw you just booked a time with my team. Super excited for us to talk. I sent you an email with a little more information on it so you can get warmed up for the call, and I'm gonna send you a few more emails over the next 7 days that gets you totally ready, answers all the questions that you have, and shows you some of the incredible people that we've taken from $0 to $100,000 to $200,000 a month inside of Scaling with Systems. Those are all true stories. They get to see video testimonials, screenshots, all that kind of stuff, and they're warmed up for the call. And all of that's totally automated. So every time someone books a time to speak with us, it's like I have somebody going in there and handwriting these campaigns for them and sending them emails. And then it's like I'm picking up the phone and calling them and warming them up and doing a little voice touch point for them. But the best part of it all is that I'm not doing anything. It's all automated, guys. So that's the beauty of Zapier. Then you can just come up here and name the Zap. So I would just say something like booked call. This is how I name mine. Then I would say, you know, booked email drip. And then I would say something like, you know, voicemail drop, right? And then I'll delete this because it's not gonna let me turn this on if I don't delete it. And then I turn it on and bada bing, bada boom. Now it's rocking and rolling. I don't have to worry about anything else. I'm gonna turn it off because obviously I don't want people to be put in here, but you guys are gonna get the idea. Another idea that I know a lot of people use, a lot of our clients use as well, is like Facebook leads. So you can make it so that whenever you get a new lead from your Facebook page, that my account's expired because this isn't my right account. But whenever you get a lead inside your Facebook page, that lead, you know, gets an email from you, they get put in an email drip, they get a voicemail drop from you, they get a text message from you. Maybe if you're running this as a service for your clients, then you send this information over to your client, all automatically, all without you having to lift a finger. So you just build it one time and you don't have to worry about it again, okay? I'm trying to think of a few other ones that we really love to use as well. Let's see in here. Another really great one that I personally use inside of my company is that whenever we get an email coming in and it matches a specific search term, then we do something else. So what I like to do is, and you can see they give you examples right here. I like to say subject, cloud, or we'll just say recording, right? And what that is I'm saying, hey, whenever I get an email to my email address, ravi@scalingwithsystems.com, and it has the subject line recording, I want you to do this next step. So let's click continue. We'll click test and review. I'm sure there has to be some email inside of here. Okay, cool. So they pulled the email for me. I click done editing. And the reason I do this is because inside of Scaling with Systems, we do coaching calls. And whenever I'm done with a coaching call, I want to send that to my virtual assistant so she can upload it into our Kajabi course module so everyone can watch that coaching call and I don't have to do anything. So it's a combination of both automation and delegation. But once again, all I do is hop on the coaching call, click the record button, I hop off of it, and this automatically all happens with my team and automation in the background, right? So then I want, you know, let's just say Slack, right? Then I want my team member to get notified in Slack. So, and when I get a new email with the subject lines recording, then I want to send a channel message. Of course, it's gonna make me sign into Slack here. So let's actually do this inside of, because I do want to finish this for you guys here. Thanks for your patience, guys. We'll click Make a Zap. We'll click Gmail. New email matching search. If you guys are getting value out of this, please like and subscribe down below. I sometimes feel awkward when I'm doing these videos. I don't know if you guys actually like them or not. So make sure you please like and comment down below so I know that you guys are getting value out of this. Sometimes I don't know if the technical walkthroughs are as interesting to you. But so subject we said was recording. And then we're gonna come down here and click continue. And then we'll test and review, make sure we can pull something. We should pull something. Perfect, there it is. So then click done editing. Then we're gonna come here, we're gonna go down to Slack. We're gonna choose the event, send channel message, select the account for Slack, and you would just sign into your Slack account here. Then you would choose the channel. I already have a recording channel, a Zoom recording, because I already do this. Like again, I'm showing you guys exactly what we do. And then you can say something like, hey, Mel Jane, which is the name of my virtual assistant. Here is a new recording from the coaching call. Please upload into Kajabi ASAP. Thanks. And then I'll come to show all options. And then inside of here, it says, hi, Ravi, Abuvala, your cloud recording is now available. And then it's gonna go, I can put the actual body inside of it, and you can put the HTML body in it as well. And essentially what it would say, under here is you want to say as a bot, you can know the bot name, all that stuff doesn't really matter. And then you click continue. And then you would essentially test and review. And then boom, you see this right here. It's now showing, hey, click here for host only. You can click here to view recording. And then if I went into my Zoom recording channel here, I think I actually turned it off so I don't have to keep on getting notified by it. It shows, hey, here's a link to the recording inside of your inside of the actual recording itself. So now my assistant gets an email whenever Zoom sends me the link to the recording of the coaching call I just did, so that she can upload it into Kajabi and I don't have to do anything. So that's just one example of literally 2 million examples of things that you can do inside of Kajabi, or inside of Zapier, excuse me. And if you guys want some some ideas or some motivation or something like that, you can actually go down to Explore, and then you can start typing in apps and it will show you, like, it already auto-populated like 15 apps for me. Add new lead information to Google Sheets and Gmail from a web work. Save a new Gmail attachments to Google Drive, right? Send emails via Gmail when Google Sheets are uploaded. Send Gmail messages when contacts are added to ClickFunnels, right? So you can see popular zaps for each of these softwares. So one of the things you could do is come in here. I don't know why they auto-populate all of these things. It's so annoying. I'm so sorry, guys. Let me exit out of this stuff real quick so I can show you. You can literally type in, hey, Ravi, I don't know what kind of zaps I would want to run. Well, you just come in here and type in, and maybe you use Calendly, right? And then maybe you also use Google Gmail. So then you can click these two together, and then it's going to show you get a scheduled digest of new Calendly events via email. So it's like, hey Ravi, this is Ravi emailing you, letting you know that, hey, here's James, here's all of this information. You have a call with him later on. And then you can have, a bunch of different other zaps. These are called zaps here, zaps ideas, and you can just click on it and it's automatically going to pull that up for you as well, right? So I dare you, I think they said they have over, what was the number that they had in here? They have like literally millions, not millions, that's obvious an exaggeration, but thousands of apps inside of here that you can choose from. 2,000 apps. So, millions, 2,000s, what's the difference? But yeah, you guys get the idea right here. You just go to the Explore page and you can kind of get an idea inside as far as which exact Zap you want to run, or what the tools that you have, what softwares that you have that can be combined together inside of Zapier. So Zapier is a tool that we've used to totally transform the way that we do business and the way that our clients do business, because you should always automate before you give to somebody else. So check and see if you or someone in your company is doing something mundane, repetitive over and over and over again, and put it into a Zap so you can free up their time and also remove the human error that happens whenever somebody runs something by themselves.
What's going on, you beautiful scalers? In this video, I'm gonna walk you through the specific 20 different automations that we use inside my 8-figure company in order to simplify workflows, keep a very lean team, and honestly, stay hilariously profitable. If you stay all the way until the end, I'm gonna show you how you can copy and paste these exact automations inside of your business in just 2 clicks. And I'm a little bit of an automation wizard. I have created literally thousands of automations, and back when I first started my advertising agency 3 years ago, I was doing well over $150,000 a month using just myself, my virtual assistant, and some automation. So we have grown quite a bit then. I have a 30+ person team, but we still rely heavily on automations. And in this video, I'm gonna do an in-depth tutorial of my 20 favorite automations that produce that save us hundreds of thousands of tasks every single month. So without further ado, let's dive right in. All right, so let's start with number 1, which is our Kajabi Inactive Email Zap. Now, what this means is that inside of one of our companies, Scaling with Systems, we have course modules. So part of our program includes a curriculum that shows a lot of our clients how to do some of these things instead of having to rely on agencies to generate their leads for them. And what we've noticed is that sometimes clients will get on board and they'll get their onboarding call, and then they won't actually log into the portal for 7, 10, 14 days after that. And it's really hard for us to actually ensure and guarantee our client success like we usually do if they're not even going through some of the minimum required content in order to see success in our program. So one of the things that we've done is actually created it so that inside of Kajabi, if someone is inactive with a product, meaning the actual course itself, within 7 days, you can add a tag to that contact, right? And then we have a Zap here that says that if that person has the tag inactive in 7 days, then we do a few things. Number 1, we send them an email from our client success manager, which is Brian. Each one of our clients gets their own personal one-on-one coach, and it comes from Brian's email. And it says, hey, Bob, I saw that you joined our program program in the last 7 days, but you haven't logged into your website yet. And here are the login details in case you didn't get it. And if you need any additional support, here's my one-on-one link. So instantly, as soon as they aren't maybe inactive as much as we'd like them to, we are doing touch points to try to save that client and get them on the right path immediately. The other thing that we also do is use Close.io as one of our CRMs inside of our company. And so we'll then find that lead inside Close.io, and then we'll set an action item within 3 days in the future to have a task for our customer success manager to make sure that they at least got in some kind of contact with that client within the past 3 days, because this initiates the conversation, but we want to make sure we do one-on-one touch points in addition to the automation to make sure that our clients are seeing success and they're doing the things that they need to do. All right. Our second automation on Zapier is going to be whenever we get a new lead coming into our sales funnel. So one of the things we do in Scaling with Systems is build sales funnels for our clients so that they can have those new customers coming in already nurtured, already warmed, and just showing up on their calendar. And one of the ways that we do that is through a sales funnel, which is pretty much just a way to educate that prospect and capture their lead information before they book the call. So what we use, one of the websites we use in order to host sales funnels is a website called Convertry. And then this is very interesting for my tech nerds out there. Once the lead comes into our sales funnel, gives us their name, email, and phone number, what we actually do is we try to verify their email address in a software called NeverBounce. Because one of the issues that we were having in the past is that we have an appointment setting team, and they would try to send email messages to the people that are opting in to push them to book an appointment, or we would have email drip sequences that did the same thing, and our deliverability would be really low because sometimes people use fake Gmails like kissmyyouKnowWhat@gmail.com or whatever else it is. So what we actually set up here is so that now, before we even put these people inside of our CRM, inside of our Slack channels, inside of our email drips, we actually verify if the email address is accurate first. Then if the email address is valid, only then do we put them inside of our CRM, our Slack channels, our email drip sequences, et cetera, et cetera. And if they're not valid, then what we do is we actually don't put them inside of there, and we just delete that lead from our system so no one's following up with a lead with incorrect information. And then once it is valid, like I said, put them inside the email drip campaign and active campaign. We send a message inside of our Slack channel to our appointment setters to say, hey, we got a new lead that has come in. And this final little step here, once again, a little bit advanced, and I'm trying to go in order of simple to advanced on some of these automations, but what we do a lot of times inside of our company is we run split tests. So we're a data-driven company, so we always try to see which, here's a funnel that's working that I'm putting $1 in and getting $8 out. If I maybe do this other thing over here, can I put $1 in and get $12 out or $13 out? So we're constantly trying to improve things. And once we get that data, we actually pass it along to our clients. But one of the things that we're testing here is one of our sales letters. I created the whole sales letter and there was no evidence or proof on the sales letter, right? So I created a rough draft of a sales letter with no testimonials or case studies on it. And then I created another version of it with a bunch of case studies and testimonials, but it was a little bit longer. And we ran a test to see which one of those two would produce more closed deals for our company, not just more leads, but more closed deals for our companies. And so this actually tagged them based on which of these opt-in pages and which of these sales letters that they looked at, if they had proof or no proof on that tag. An interesting little insight for you, those that are paying attention, it actually turned out that the one that had no proof, less social proof, converted into more closed deals for our company, which is kind of crazy, but I think it's because the presentation was shorter. Okay, so hopefully you guys are getting value out of this. If you are, be sure to smash the like button. On to the next one. And oh my goodness, what is this? So this is an interesting automation you guys might not have ever seen before. So actually what this is if you subscribe to this channel, then what happens is your life will be filled with more happiness, more love, and more money. Okay, so this is in here. I did not create this on a whiteboard 2 seconds before I shot this video. This is totally legitimate. So if you are getting value out of this video, and if you do want more happiness, love, and money, please be sure to smash the like button and hit subscribe. Moving forward here, the next one that I actually really love as well is as we're starting to really grow and we're hitting $1 million months inside of my company, one of the issues we have is people's payments failing. So for whatever reason, right, they're falling under hard times, or maybe, they switch credit cards, or the bank froze the money, any kind of reason, the charge failed. So what we actually do is create an automation to both alert my company and the client that their charge has failed in order to get it back. So new event in Stripe, meaning there's a new charge that has happened in Stripe that triggers this event. We only continue if the event was a payment failed instead of a payment success. We format the number to figure out what the number amount was inside of that failed amount so we can send that to our client. And then we do a few things, right? First thing we'll do is we'll send it to our Slack channel inside of our payment fail channel. And we'll say, hey team, or hey customer success manager, this client name failed their this amount payment, $500 payment, $1,000 payment. We've sent the automated email to reach out to them, but please sure to also reach out as well. Then we send an email to our client from our support team that says pretty much the same thing. Hey Bob, I hope you're doing well. I saw that your most recent payment of X failed. In order to make sure that we continue to serve you correctly, please be sure to complete, this invoice link down below so we can get you back on track. And another little hack for you guys here is what we do is we just put a link inside of there for a $1 charge. And that way, as soon as we see a $1 charge come in, we know that that's somebody putting their new credit card information in there, and then our team can go in and charge the rest of the amounts, okay? And then also they go inside of a spreadsheet inside of Google Sheets that our team has of all delinquent people, and we put them a note and a lead status inside of our CRM Close.io, so we know as well if we're ever looking at that lead, hey, that person's in delinquent right now, okay? Coming up next is going to be a really, really simple one that we use, but still, I'm shocked that a lot of my clients don't even have this set up. We get around 1,200 inbound booked appointments a month inside of our companies. And so one of the things that we do is when someone books an appointment with us, we make sure there's a filter here to make sure it's the right appointment for the right offer, because we have a few different offers, but right appointment for the right offer. And then what we do is put them inside of an email drip sequence that warms them up, engages them, nurtures them, and makes them excited for the call that they're going to get on. A lot of people don't have this. And so they book a call and they might be booking a call 5-6 days in advance, and there's no material, there's no content, there's nothing there to remind that person they have the call. But not just remind them, but also get them excited and get them educated and answer a lot of the questions and send them social proof and testimonials. So by the time they get on the call, they're ready to go, which really shortens that sales cycle. Okay. Moving forward is going to be, this is one of my favorite ones for my creative director. I should say one of my creative director's favorite ones. We outsource our thumbnails. So obviously I shoot 2 YouTube videos a week, just like these. So if you're getting value out of it, please be sure to smash the like button, hit subscribe. And what happens is we're using a thumbnail designer from Fiverr in order to design all these thumbnails that we're pushing out. We don't have someone in-house, but we are looking for someone currently. And so in order to make it so that my creative director can know when a thumbnail is done, because he'd have to continuously check Fiverr for when the thumbnail is done, what we've actually done is I created an email search option inside of Zapier so that when someone, I get an email from Fiverr that has the words, your thumbnail order is done from a certain seller, and that's what this filter is right here. Then we send a message to our content team that says, hey, creative director, whose name is Jack, yeah, the thumbnail is done and ready for review. Click here to check it out. And that link goes directly to what the thumbnail is. So he's not waiting around for a thumbnail to be done. And he can just, as soon as he gets that thumbnail gets completed, he can go in there and look at that immediately so we can put our videos out on a timely basis. Our next Zapier automation. This is an incredible one if you do have a lot of inbound booked appointments every single month. So another mistake I see a lot of my clients doing, especially in the B2B world, is they are getting on the phone with every single client that ever, gives them a ring. And I'm sure that that is decent when you're first starting out, but over time, like for us, we curate, meaning we cancel 67% of the booked appointments that we have in our calendar every month. 67%, because they're either not looking forward to, they're not looking to move forward today or soon, or they're just window shopping, or they're not the right fit, they're not financially qualified, whatever the reason is, they're not able to pretty much work with us for our services. So what we've done is we have a appointment setter that calls all the inbound appointments that we have coming in, and they give the appointment that's coming in a number from 1 to 5, right? 1 to 2 means that we cancel it automatically. 3 to 4 means that we call them in and we figure out and qualify. And then 5 just means that, hey, this is a perfect client. This is a perfect deal. Just shoot this person right on over. You don't even need to call them and confirm their application. Okay. So what happens is they just put inside of Slack the emoji number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that will actually run so that we can read. We have a formula in there that says, okay, if it's a 1, automatically cancel this appointment inside of our CRM. If it's a 2, automatically cancel. If it's a 3, leave it alone, et cetera, et cetera. So this is something I really recommend you doing as well, so that you're not getting on the phone with just every single person that decides to get on your calendar. Be respectful of your time and your sales team's time. Another great automation that we use inside of our company, I don't even know what number we're on right now because we are just laying on the value for you guys, is actually our gift. So inside of both of our companies, I love giving gifts to our clients. I'm super grateful for what I do. I love what I do, and I love helping my clients. And one of the ways that we've noticed in order to increase client retention, make them happy, and honestly turn them into better customers is by giving them gifts, but not just like a wine opener, because I think that's useless, but instead we give them like books that have really transformed my life. So we'll give them gifts that have books that have like made me into the person that I am, or maybe I want them to read this book because it'll help them be a better customer for us, et cetera, et cetera. So what happens is when somebody becomes onboarded inside of our company, they fill an onboarding form out. When that onboarding form is submitted, we delay for 30 days because we don't send the gift right away. We delay for 30 days. And then we delay for 4 more days after that just to make sure that they're not delinquent, because we don't want to send gifts to people that are delinquent. So delay for 30 days to get to the second month, then delay for 4 days just to make sure they're not delinquent. And then we send a channel message to our virtual assistant to say, hey, this person is good to go. They're not delinquent, and we should send them the gift that we usually give our clients 30 days in. If you want to know what that is, become one of our clients. Next, automation. This is one that I have actually been known for in the online B2B world because I created this a few years ago and totally transformed people's companies. If you remember me talking about the very beginning of this video, I was doing $150,000 a month in my first company with just me and a virtual assistant. And one of the ways I was able to do that was because my fulfillment for my advertising agency was so streamlined. All I was doing was just getting on sales calls all day, and I could have literally my virtual assistants, which we place with our clients, run the entire client fulfillment and use systems and automations to do all the work for them. So one of the ones that we do is when somebody on a sales call says, yes, I really want to work with you guys, I'm looking forward to moving forward with you guys, we send them an online proposal to seal the deal. Once they sign that online proposal, they get an automated email that we put inside of ActiveCampaign that says, hey, welcome to the family. Here are the rules and regulations, and here is your onboarding form and where you can get help in order to do your next steps. And then in one of our offers, like I said, we give an online curriculum for them. So then we grant them access to the online curriculum. So soon as the salesperson is done with the sales call, they send that proposal and they know that that person's going to get onboarded. At the end of the onboarding form, they fill out their onboarding call, and then they're going to instant access to the curriculum. And I'm going to show you how they get also invited to the coaching calls as well that we have every single week. So sales guy sends or girl sends the proposal out. After that, we're done. No other work needs to happen, and they're on to the next sales call. And that's how we have thousands of clients and only a few client success managers. Okay. This brings me into the next part here, which is actually the auto invite. So inside of our company, Scaling with Systems, we have 5 coaching calls a week that we're able to get on, screen share, and do one-on-ones with our clients at set times. And then they also have a calendar that they can book one-on-ones on their own times. So as soon as somebody fills out the onboarding form, not only do they get access to the course curriculum, they schedule their onboarding call, but we also invite them to all of the coaching calls every single week on our calendar for a certain amount of months. That's how long our program runs. So once again, salesperson sends it over, and when they sign it, they know that they're getting access to all the material. You know, they're getting their onboarding call booked, they're getting all of their invites, you know, they're getting everything in order to ensure success. And that lets the salesperson focus on what matters and also know in their mind that, hey, I just put this person on board and I know they're getting taken care of. I've unlocked literally millions of dollars for some of my clients because they do stuff like Walmart automation, and whenever they onboard somebody, they just put them in a WhatsApp group message, and there's no automation, there's no systemization, and everybody's upset, nobody knows what's going on. And so most of my, you know, Walmart, Amazon, YouTube automation clients could only take 2 to 3 clients a month, and now they're able to take 15, 20 clients a month, right? And so I'm literally creating millions of dollars in profit for some of my clients doing this exact same stuff. I think we're about halfway done. Hopefully you guys are still with me. I know there's a lot, but I was like, let me just give everybody everything that I need to teach them here. So next one is actually going to be another booked appointment one. This is for our back end call. So we have a few different offers, and after someone reaches the transformation that we guaranteed in the first offer, we invite them to our higher level program, which includes in-person masterminds, you know, events with me, one-on-ones with me, et cetera, et cetera. And so what happens is when somebody books a call for one of our Ascension call, essentially, we notify everybody inside of the Slack channels like, hey, this person's thinking of upgrading. And then we also find their information inside of our CRM. We update them that they're thinking of ascending, and then we put a little note inside of there as well. So what happens is one of our customer success managers, Brian, can look when he gets a notification and can go inside of Close.io and know to prepare the right information for that Ascension call in order to ensure that it goes well and potentially ascends that person into our next program. Another one that I like to do, obviously, I shoot a lot of content every single day. And one of the things that we've done is I have a whole content calendar like system. And if you guys want to get access to that, want me to do a video on how I do, you know, literally dozens of videos a week in only 3 hours, just comment down below. But what we do is I use a content calendar, and then I use a tag inside of Asana for my content calendar that says this needs to be posted. And that goes inside to my content team and says, hey team, Ravi's now created something that needs to be posted or needs to be starting to be worked on, click here to get access to that document or to that, file, whatever else it is. So that keeps my team on notice that, hey, Ravi posted something today and it needs to be due in 3 days, and we need to make sure we get the video edited, thumbnails up, everything else. Okay. Next one is going to be whenever we have canceled appointments. So sometimes our clients cancel appointments, and that happens all the time, or I should say our prospects cancel appointments, and that happens, right? Things happen in life. So what we like to do is if someone cancels the appointment on their own and we filter it in saying that they canceled it and they did not reschedule it, okay? So if they canceled it and did not reschedule it, then what we do is we update them inside of Close.io and we put them underneath a smart view called no-shows. And one of the things that my sales reps or my appointment setters will do is literally just pick up the phone and dial all of the no-shows every single day, because they've made it past the VSL, the sales letter, the curation, the 1 to 5. Like, they were so close to getting on the phone with us and they didn't show up. So those are really some of the people that are closest to the money. So we have our appointment setters and our sales reps pick up and dial those people every day to try to get them back on the calendar. Next is also inside our CRM, we do text messages. I really recommend if you are a B2B company or a B2C company and you're having your sales reps text from their own phone, I do not recommend that. Number one, it's very hard to train and coach them. Number two, and you need to make sure you have a record of all the leads communications in case something happens later on, you can be able to reference all of it. Number three, if that sales rep ever leaves, they're going to be leaving with all of your sales and lead data, and so they're going to go to another offer and sell your information. And number four, it usually gets lost, in their personal text messages as well. So we make all of our sales reps use our CRM and a phone number inside of there. And then what happens is if they get an inbound text, just to make sure that they might not see it, they might not have their app pulled up for the CRM, whatever else it is, we actually find the number that they're texting to, and then we look inside of Google Sheet and say, okay, who's the rep that has this number? And then we send a direct message to them inside of Slack that says, hey, you just got a text, here's what it is, click here to respond back. Next one is going to be, this is something I created recently, which is, like I said, we canceled about 67% of the booked appointments we have every month. So one of the things I did was we were canceling appointments, but then they were still getting that email nurturing sequences that I was talking about earlier. So one of the things that I did was I created it so that when we cancel that appointment, because we curate them because they're not the right fit, then we put them inside an active campaign automation that removes them from all other automations that are going on right now. So it's not like we're saying, hey, cancel the appointment, and then they're getting more reminders that are saying, can't wait for your appointment, right? It was like kind of very confusing for them. So now they're removed from all other automations that happen, okay? Another thing that we do is we have a team of 8 sales reps, 3 appointment setters, and 1 sales team leader. And so that sales team leader needs to listen to all of the sales reps recordings on a day-to-day basis, coach them, give them feedback. And if you have a sales team leader and you're making them like go log into Zoom or log into this thing and try to find these sales, it's going to be almost impossible. Anytime you add that much friction, they're going to not likely do it. So one of the things that we did is we made it so anytime there's a new recording, we filter it by a specific user. So this is for Brian, once again, our customer success manager. Anytime there's a new recording from him, it automatically goes inside of a Slack channel that my sales team leader has access to, so he can see on a day-to-day basis, just randomly choose 3 or 4 meetings that he wants to listen to and give feedback on. Or maybe Brian messages our sales team leader and says, hey, I thought I could have closed this person, but they threw me a curveball at the end and I didn't really understand it. Here's the name. Our sales team leader can go back and look at who that person was and give them some feedback, okay? Next one's gonna be the Zoom extraction form. So I, like I said, shoot a bunch of content every single week, and I also have multiple coaching calls with 6, 7, 8, and even 9-figure business owners. And on those coaching calls, there are a lot of valuable things that go on. We talk about a lot of really incredible stuff. And so sometimes what I get from that coaching call, I'm like, wow, that was a gem, and we need to save that. So I actually created a form that myself or any one of my other coaches can fill out, and it says, hey, what was the name of the recording, what was the date of the recording and what was said, and they just have to type that out in a form, and then that will go to my content team inside my content calendar. They'll log back into the Zoom recordings and they will pull and extract that coaching call, and then they will post that on my social media. So for example, if you're not following me on Instagram, it's at Ravi Abuvala. I do recommend that you do it. You can actually see a bunch of coaching call examples of me teaching, and it's because at the end of the call, I hop into a form, type it out in 10 seconds, and then from there, I know know that I have the systems and automations that'll be posted on my Instagram in a day or two. Moving forward to the next one is going to be, we started implementing weekly check-ins for both of our companies so that every single week we send a form out to our clients that says, hey, what was your biggest win this week? What was your biggest loss this week? If we had a magic wand and we could solve something for you, what would it be? So that we can figure out, okay, cool, can we actually solve this for this person? And so as soon as they get onboarded, we will create a loop inside of that onboarding that sends them an email from our customer success manager. You know, each client has a different customer success manager, and says, hey, it's the end of the week. Hope you're doing well. Please fill out this form. And that form zaps over to our Slack channel so that they can get feedback and then send a Loom video back and answer any questions they may have. And this has been really great for increasing. I mean, we have some of the best customer success results in our entire industry because we do stuff like this. Nobody else is willing to go in depth as we are. And you guys can do the same thing if you just leverage automation for it as well. Okay. Another thing that we do also, like I talked about earlier, is anytime we have a new payment. So I talked about payment failure, but the other great thing is when you got a new payment success. And I absolutely hate notifications on phones. I think it's a waste of time and a distraction. So one of the things that we did was I turned off all my notifications except for Slack because I think it's really important. And so now I have a payment success channel. And anytime we have a new payment success inside of our channel, we do two things. Number one, we update that person inside of our CRM Close.io and says, hey, this person paid. And then the second thing we do is put that inside of Slack and say, hey, this person paid as well. So the whole company gets to see, we all get, it's like hanging around the water cooler. Someone gets like a big paid in full and everyone's like, yeah, woo. And also it goes inside of our CRM so that we can register that person and understand what their movements are inside of our company. Next one is also going to be for whenever somebody books an appointment for one of our other companies. I'm not going to go too in depth on this. I saved these for one of the later ones, but what we pretty much do is figure out where this person, so one of the things we do for our higher level clients is we assign tracking systems. So if you're somebody and you have, you're maybe doing $50, $80, $100,000 a month plus, and you have all these different traffic sources coming in, one of the things that we'll do is actually identify what was the content, what was the source. So YouTube ads, YouTube organic, what was the content, what was a specific YouTube video or specific YouTube ad. And then we look up like things like agent ID, meaning was there an appointment setter involved? So I'm not going to go too in depth on this one because honestly, it's probably going to go over 99% of your head. But if you are doing a few $100,000 a month and you want to start tracking stuff more, I do recommend you reach out to us. And I think that this is also, whenever someone books an appointment, we put them inside of our CRM so that we can say, hey, this person booked an appointment at this date. These are all the information and details you need. So we can ever see, hey, we want to look up inside of our CRM anybody that maybe filled out an application but never booked an appointment with us. And here's all the information so that then we can reach out and call them. So if you don't have in your CRM, automatically when someone books an appointment with you, then you could be reaching out to people that already got on a call with you and you're sending them the same message as somebody who's never spoken to you guys before. So it's important that you have those different tags and different automations that let you know this person's never spoken to us, this one has spoken to us, because there's two different messaging. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the 20 automations that we use inside of our company in order to keep a lean team, keep our workflows really simple, and remain hilariously profitable. If you guys got value out of the video, please be sure to smash the like button and hit subscribe. And as I promised before, I want to talk to you about how you can get your hands on all of these automations so you can copy and paste them inside of your business in just 2 clicks. All you have to do is click the link in the description down below that says scalingwithsystems.com/Zap. Enter in your information and we will email you over every single one of these automations so you can copy and paste it inside of your business immediately.